The Inner Life by C.W. Leadbeater. Chapter 2. The Work of the Christ. You ask about the Great One, whom we call the Christ, the Lord Maitreya, and about his work in the past and in the future. The subject is a wide one also about which it is sometimes difficult for us to speak with freedom on account of the restrictions with which we are hedged round. Possibly, the suggestion may be of use to you that there is what we call a department of inner government of the world which is devoted to religious instruction, the founding and inspiring of religions, and so on. It is the Christ who is in charge of that department. Sometimes he himself appears on earth to found a new religion, and sometimes he entrusts such work to one of his more advanced assistants. We must regard him as exercising a kind of steady pressure from behind all the time, so that the power employed will flow as though automatically into every channel everywhere, and of any sort which is open to its passage, so that he is working simultaneously through every religion and utilizing all that is good in the way of devotion and self-sacrifice in each. The fact that these religions may be wasting their strength in abusing one another upon the physical plane is of course lamentable, but it does not make much difference to the fact that whatever is good in each of them is being simultaneously utilized from behind by the same great power. This is true, of course, of all movements in the world. Every ounce of the good in them is being used as a channel, while the evil in them is, in each case, just so much regrettable waste of force, which might have been utilized if people had been more sensible. The section in The Secret Doctrine, entitled The Mystery of Buddha, gives a good deal of information as to the relations between the heads of this department of religion, and it may give some useful hints as to the Christ also. This is a subject of paramount interest to the members of our society, since one of our masters has a specially close relation with that department. As to the approaching advent of the Christ and the work which he has to do, you cannot do better than to read Mrs. Besant's book on the changing world. The time of his advent is not far distant, and the very body which he will take is even already born among us. All this was decided many thousands of years ago, some of it decided apparently in minute detail, though it would seem that there is a good deal of flexibility with regard to other points. The utter certainty with which these great ones lay their plans many thousands of years ahead is one of the most wonderful features of the stupendous work that they do. Sometimes it's open to us, who have been able to develop the faculties of the higher planes, to be allowed a glimpse of their mighty schemes, to witness the lifting of a tiny corner of the veil which shrouds the future. Sometimes also we have glimpsed their plans in another way, for in looking back into the records of the distant past, we have found them making prophecies, the fulfillment of which is even now passing before our eyes. I know nothing more stirring, more absorbing, interesting than such a glimpse. The splendor, the colossal magnitude of their plans takes away one's breath. Yet even more impressive is the calm dignity, the utter certainty of it all. Not individuals only, but even nations are the pieces in this game, but neither nation nor individual is compelled to play any given part. The opportunity to play that part is given to it or to him. If he or it will not take it, there is invariably an understudy ready to step in and fill in the gap. But whoever may be the instrument, this one thing at least is utterly certain, that the intended evil will be achieved. Oh, I'm sorry, I misread that. But whoever may be the instrument, this one thing at least is entirely certain, that the intended end will be achieved, through whose agency this will be done matters very much to the agent, but nothing at all to the total progress of the world. 1900 years ago, Apollonius of Tyana was sent out by the Brotherhood upon a mission, one feature of which was that he was to found in various countries certain magnetic centers. Objects of the nature of talismans were given to him, which he was to bury at these chosen spots, in order that the force which they radiated might prepare these places to be the centers of great events in the future. Some of those centers have already been utilized, but some have not, and all these latter are to be employed in the immediate future in connection with the coming of Christ, so that much of the detail of his work was already definitely planned nearly 2,000 years ago, and arrangements, even on the physical plane, were being made to prepare for it. When once we realize this utter certainty, doubt, hesitation, anxiety, and worry all fade away, and we gain a perfect peace and content and the most absolute confidence in the powers who are governing the world. And that concludes that chapter. The next chapter is entitled The Work of the Masters. Hope you'll join me for that. Till soon.